Have you ever wondered how a voice that roared through Hollywood, turning pilots into legends and rock stars into myths, could fade into a silence so deep it shakes you? Val Kilmer, the fire behind Iceman's cool and Jim Morrison's chaos, slipped away on April 1, 2025, at 65. Not with the blaze of his prime, but in a quiet that left fans reeling. Pneumonia stole his final breath, but whispers of a life cloaked in solitude, battling unseen scars, paint a story far beyond the screen. What drove this icon to retreat from the spotlight? And what truths hid in his final, hushed days? Let's unravel the enigma of Val Kilmer, a man whose brilliance burned bright but carried a shadow few could see. And trust me, what comes next will grip you. Val Kilmer's story starts in a Los Angeles home, 1959, where laughter mingled with the hum of family life. Born between older brother Mark and younger brother Wesley, whose epilepsy cast a quiet shadow, Val knew warmth through his mother Gladys's gentle love and his father Eugene's real estate hustle. But at 9, the ground cracked. His parents' marriage dissolved, leaving the boys with their dad, and a chill that Val later said made him turn inward, thoughtful, almost walled off. That fracture was just the start. At 17, poised to chase dreams in New York, Val faced a gut-wrenching blow. Wesley, only 15, suffered a seizure and drowned in the family pool. Reports say the loss shattered him, taking years to regain his footing. "It was like part of me drowned too," he'd confess, voice heavy with memory. Those early wounds didn't just hurt. They carved a hunger to channel grief into something bigger, something that could speak for him. But as he stepped toward that calling, the weight of those losses followed, whispering of battles yet to come. At 17, Val walked into Juilliard, the youngest ever admitted, carrying a heart bruised but burning with purpose. Acting classes had been his refuge since 12, a place to voice the pain of a broken home and a brother gone too soon. In New York's gritty theaters, he poured himself into roles, living on little sleep and less money, chasing truth over comfort. One story stands out. At 16, he walked away from a burger ad audition because the lines felt fake. "I'd rather lose the gig than betray the role," he later said, a choice that screamed integrity but hinted at a stubborn streak that would spark trouble. Off-Broadway nights forged him, each line a stitch in armor against a world that took too much too early. His raw presence caught eyes, but that same fire, uncompromising, fierce, set him on a collision course with an industry that prized ease over depth. And as he stood on the edge of fame, something bigger was brewing, ready to launch him skyward. The mid-'80s hit like a jet engine, with Top Gun in 1986 making Val, at 25, a household name as Iceman. He wasn't sold on the script, called it shallow, but his sharp gaze and crisp delivery turned a role into a legend. Then came The Doors in 1991, where he didn't just play Jim Morrison, he became him, singing, moving, breathing the rocker's chaos so fully that director Oliver Stone said Val spoke from a place others couldn't reach. Tombstone's Doc Holliday in 1993 stunned with layered grit, earning raves, while Batman Forever in 1995 cemented his star power, though he chafed under its commercial chains. Heat that same year put him beside De Niro and Pacino, a rare nod from peers. But fame had thorns. Whispers of set clashes grew loud. Entertainment Weekly in 1996 called him out for making enemies, labeling him difficult. Some now say it was passion misread, but back then, it stuck. Each role pushed him higher, yet pulled him further from those closest, hinting at a personal toll that was starting to show. And that toll was about to weave through his heart in ways no script could capture. Behind the spotlight, Val's heart chased connections that flickered like candle flames. In the early 80s, Cher, 13 years his senior, sparked something electric, a superstar whose strength both soothed and challenged him. "She gets in your heart and stays," he later mused, a bittersweet nod to a love cut short by fame's pull. Then came Joanne Whalley on Willow's set in 1988. By year's end, they married, a Hollywood fairy tale that birthed Mercedes in 1991 and Jack in 1995. But Val's method acting, months lost to Morrison's psyche, left Joanne pacing empty rooms, their bond fraying. Whispers of a fling with Cindy Crawford swirled, fueling tabloid fires, and by 1996, divorce papers landed mid-shoot, a stark collision of art and loss. Later, rumors tied him to Angelina Jolie during Alexander in 2004, with fans still debating if it was chemistry or chaos. Daryl Hannah came next, a bond that lasted until her 2018 marriage to Neil Young reportedly left Val gutted. "No girlfriend for 20 years, he admitted in a hushed confession, painting a life where love sparked, but rarely stayed. Those heartaches, raw and real, set the stage for battles that cut even deeper. Val's brilliance didn't just light up screens, it sparked friction that echoed through Hollywood. The Island of Dr. Moreau in 1996 was a storm. Clashes with director John Frankenheimer and Marlon Brando turned sets into battlegrounds, with Frankenheimer swearing he'd never work with Val again. Entertainment Weekly's Enemies label stuck, though recent tributes from co-stars argue he was just fiercely dedicated, not a diva. Money troubles hit hard too. IRS debts forced him to sell most of his 6,000-acre New Mexico ranch in 2011 for $18.5 million, shrinking his sanctuary to 160 acres. He mourned it as losing pieces of his soul, memories of his late father tied to the land. His Christian Science faith added complexity. Reports claim he initially resisted medical care for health issues, leaning on prayer over doctors, a choice that stirred debate. Neighbors clashed over his ranch-turned B&B plans, citing traffic woes, turning his refuge into a fight. These storms painted a man whose quest for truth isolated him, leaving scars that would soon face a far tougher foe. And that foe was already creeping closer. By 2014, a lump in Val's throat wasn't just a nuisance, it was throat cancer, a predator that would steal his voice. Early on, whispers say he leaned on his Christian Science beliefs, trying to pray it away before turning to chemo, radiation, and tracheotomies. The treatments saved him, but left his once vibrant tone a rasp, reliant on notebooks and gestures. Recent rumors, unverified by family, paint a grim picture. Some claim he was bedbound for years, frail and fading in his final months. Others insist he stayed creative, painting and writing until the end. What's clear is the toll: feeding tubes, painful swallows, and a silence that cut deeper than any role. Yet he fought back, pouring pain into art, scripting journals, and editing old footage. Pneumonia hit fast in 2025, linked to cancer's long shadow, and took him on April 1st. Fans still debate. Was he truly reclusive, or was he quietly defying the end? That defiance, though, led to one last moment that stunned the world. In 2022, Val soared again in Top Gun: Maverick, his Iceman cameo crafted by AI weaving his voice from old tapes. Tom Cruise, a friend through decades, insisted on it, their on-screen reunion carrying the weight of shared history. Director Joseph Kosinski called it his most emotional scene, a bridge to Val's past glory. Off-screen on his 160-acre ranch, Val wrote, painted, and sifted through footage, entrusting it to Mercedes and Jack to tell his story. His March 22, 2025, Instagram post, a simple painting, now feels like a cryptic farewell. Whispers of regrets lingered. Time lost with kids, roles declined, loves that slipped away. On April 1st, pneumonia claimed him in Los Angeles, his hand in his children's, a quiet exit far from the spotlight. Reports vary. Some say family kept vigil for days, others that his end came swiftly. Either way, his final act wasn't just survival. It was a testament to a spirit that refused to fade, even in silence. And that silence leaves us with a question that lingers. Val Kilmer gave us Iceman's steel, Morrison's fire, Holliday's grit, a legacy etched in every frame. But behind the roles lay a man carved by loss, a brother's death, loves that faded, a voice stolen by illness. Recent whispers of his reclusive final days, the ranch he lost, the regrets he carried, they reveal a truth deeper than fame. His art burned bright, but at what cost? As we replay his films, we're left wondering, does true genius always demand a piece of the soul? Val's story, luminous yet laced with shadow, asks us to look beyond the screen, to see the human who fought, loved, and endured in silence. His light still flickers, urging us to reflect on what we chase and what we leave behind.